Good morning, y'all. My name is Shanna. Welcome to my channel. I'm not a blue ribbon quilter. My focus is on keeping people warm, and I want to make a quilt that's warm and sturdy as quickly as possible. And so that's why I make a lot of fat quarter quilts. And it takes 12 fat quarters to make a 54 by 70 quilt. And two of those 12 are split, so it's 14 blocks, but 12 fat quarters. So I'm bringing you part 2 of free motion quilting because I got more to say about it. I did this the other day, and it was really good exercise. So what I did was I just took my good old Home Depot yardstick, and I just marked. I wasn't worried about centering anything. I just put it down and marked both sides of it and moved it and marked one side and etc. What I did that was an excellent exercise was I tried to make little serpentines, meanders, name them whatever you want, and stay between the lines. It was an excellent exercise, and it wore me out, but I learned a lot. Two things happened. I didn't have as many glitches on the back. That was one thing. Another thing was my stitches were more consistent. What I have suffered with free motion is itty bitty 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 tiny stitches and then great big ones. Little bitty 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 and great big. And it's because I wasn't smooth about my curve. So that's where the great big stitches wound up. And then on the stretch, I'd get little bitty ones. But on the fat quarter that I did the other day like this, they were surprisingly consistent because I'm getting better. One thing you could do is just grab a fat quarter and make a sandwich and cut it in half, and you would have 2 placemats. So not only would you get the opportunity to practice, you'd have a usable thing that you could study and learn from while you're having dinner. So that's just an idea of how to use a fat quarter and get you some practice in. I do want to say that Honeydew today is taking 5 quilts to homeless services. I'm so grateful to God, and I'm so thrilled to have been able to pile up 5 quilts for him to take. And so that is happening, and that made my day right there. So another thing I do with the free motion, I use a thread that disappears. And that's important when you're practicing. You'll still have a block that you can still put in a quilt, but your mistakes are less obvious, your glitches are less obvious, and it makes me feel a little better about making a quilt that is an experimental piece and still put something out there that's pretty and presentable. One thing I noticed about this particular print, looking at it through the camera, because you don't see it I didn't see it. I've got dozens of this pattern. But look at these lines. You could just run a straight line down those with your walking foot. And you know, a walking foot needs practice too, because they're they can be cranky to work with. But I just think this is so cool because you could go this line all the way across, and then you could switch it and you could make a crisscross. Wouldn't that be cool? I got to do that, y'all. I got to do that. Ha! I've got one more. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that with the next one. But for this one, I'm going to come back and do the squiggles again and see if I can get better with them. And so another thing that you can do marking your block like this is take your walking foot and just run down the marks with a straight line. Another thing that you can do with your free motion is just not worry about this, but just practice squiggling down the line. And that makes a pretty quilt. So I just had more to say and more to tell you about this. So I love y'all to pieces. Y'all have a blessed day, and we will talk to you later.